Hell yeah, brother. You're on the Cleetus McFarland YouTube channel.
It is day 3 of Supercharging Leroy action. This is episode number 3, and we got some live action coming at you today. Today we are going to drop the body back down, reattach it to the drivetrain. There's a few things that we have to do before that, and then once the car is rejoined with itself, we will do the fuel system as well as put the LSA on. So I mentioned in the unboxing video that the LSA supercharger has a rectangle port and I have cathedral port heads, so we got these adapters from Olson Custom Works, and it adapts from a square port to a cathedral. Also, what you guys are going to see today is the assembly of the accessory drive, which Olson Custom Works gave us adapters for that as well, and did some machining on our supercharger snout, and that allows the LSA supercharger to be compatible with an LS1 setup like we have in Leroy. So Laz is going to finish up the assembly on the engine and do a couple more things like torque down the heads, and then we are going to reattach the body to the drivetrain. So one thing I wanted to point out about these adapters is, because I have ported heads and the LSA that Faster Proms is providing for Leroy is ported, we're gonna do a little bit of port matching with the adapters to make them fit a little better. Luckily, Faster Proms does all their porting in-house, so we can get that done here. Shouldn't take long at all. This blower is gonna sit ridiculously high off the engine because not only do we have the adapters, we have the Faster Proms thermal reduction plates, and that is even more of a gap. So I mean, this LSA blower is gonna be sitting high on top of the old LS1. Time to join the two pieces. Let's do this. Well, there you have it. Leroy is reconjoined with his drivetrain. The car is put back together for now. We have quite a bit of stuff to do. We got to run the fuel system still. We got to put together the rest of the heads, finish the training kit. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. We have to put the LSA blower on, which Eric is assembling right now. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but we're getting them done. Eric and Laz are straight killing it here at Faster Proms. Alright, so if you watched episode 1 and episode 2 of Supercharging Leroy, you guys know I was out of town. Last year, worked on the car on Friday, and I'm just getting back and kind of seeing what he's been doing. So he's building this tray for the back of Leroy. This is a Faster Proms expansion tank, and we're putting it on the back of Leroy. This is gonna pump water through that LSA supercharger up there. It's got an internal 2,000 gallon an hour pump in it. I mean, it's gonna pump a lot of water, help keep that blower cold so Leroy doesn't get really bad heat soak. And then this freaking monster, this MagnaFuel 750. It is such a beast. This is a fuel pump we're running in Leroy, and Motion Raceworks hooked us up with this stuff. So the nice thing about Motion Raceworks is I basically just called up there, a guy named Doug answered, and I was like, this is what we want to do. We want to make 1,000 horsepower on corn. He's like, I got you. Set us up with fittings, lines, pumps, filters, everything we needed to make 1,000 horsepower and have the fuel to supply Leroy's engine. So those guys are awesome. If you need performance parts, you can hit up Motion Raceworks. So they specialize in a lot of late model performance as well as any boosted applications. And they also make, you know, a lot of cool parts for just helping solve any problems you run into. So I'm telling you, call Motion Raceworks. Those guys will hook you up. And if you want to reach them, I'll actually just throw their information in the description below. Now, I know what you're thinking. Most of you hardcore Corvette guys are saying he's got a 2001, and they don't make many drop-in fuel pumps for these tanks. You got to switch to the newer style tanks. False. What we're doing here is we got this fuel hat. So it's like a spacer, goes there, and then you got you've got an outlet and a return line. Bring it up here. We're gonna have a hob switch, and then when the hob switch kicks on, it'll kick on that big old fuel pump back there. The factory fuel pump will run as normal. And then we'll have that other Dash 8 line coming up to this 4 Innovations Y here. And then this will connect up to our ZR1 fuel rail. And that'll pump fuel into the engine. And then Jeremy here,
gonna make some tuner magic happen.
I was gonna make some tuner magic happen. And the bald eagles will proceed to let her rip tater chip. And once the bald eagles let her rip tater chip, we will know we have successfully done it for Dale.
Like
what did you say? This is what?
The most awkward angle to be working on right now.
Are you really complaining? There's no body panels on this car, Jeremy.
I know. It's like kind of like working like on a 4x4 or something.
What more do you want from me? Remove the frame. We have not thought about brakes yet. If you sell brakes, hopefully one of the Willwood guys watching this hit us up. See, the problem is before I had line lock, I was doing these big burnouts holding the brake, and these would glow red and catch on fire, so they're significantly cooked. Actually, you can see rubber all over back here. But you know, but now that we're gonna have this blower and these major engine upgrades, I'm definitely gonna do less burnouts and more actual racing, which I'm sure a lot of people appreciate. So probably won't have to worry about roasting brakes anymore, but we do have to worry about slowing down now. Might want to consider putting a parachute on the car if we get to that level, because that would honestly be awesome and would add to the safety. So I haven't talked about this yet, but when Leroy finishes up at Faster Proms, we are going to drive or trailer him over to Profab Performance Plus. And guess what they do? They do roll cages. Leroy's getting a little something special. We haven't decided if we're going like total exoskeleton style or if we'll just do a cage for the cabin or what. But when we get there, I mean, those guys are some of the best in the country for race cars, and they are gonna kind of help us feel out what we want to do in terms of the cage for Leroy. I do want to do an exoskeleton, but I don't want it to be super over the top. I want it to look clean and, you know, at the same time be really safe. So we'll do that in probably episode 4 or 5, and that's actually happening later this week. So you guys will see it at least by Friday, us dropping it off and Leroy getting ready to get welded on. Also, we are switching from the stock LS1 injector plugs to this LS2, LS3 style plugs. So we got to rewire those up. Can't forget the details. I also got this LS2 to LS1 throttle body wiring adapter because we're running that LS2 throttle body on this LSA blower. So you gotta have one of these, and it just plugs right in. Perfect little adapter for what we need. So just a FYI, we are gonna run the fuel lines down this side, and then we will run the coolant lines from the expansion tank down this side, and then we'll put the tunnel plate up, and it'll kind of seal everything up nicely, and we will have plenty of fluids running from the back of the car to the front of the car.
What the hell?
I wonder if we're getting. Hold on. Just wait. We might fill this up.
I said he's a squirter in the episode number 1. I'm starting to wonder if Leroy is actually a female. This is like a waterfall. Broken bolt. Broken bolt? Yeah. This is the struggle right here. I just completely finished reinstalling the fuel pump with the new fuel block attachment, and I broke a bolt. So off it comes because they did supply us with one extra, but this sucks. So I just took the fuel pump off again, and I should be able to just reach in here, crank it back, and it'll come eventually. I'm not going to over tighten this time. Using a 1/4 inch, I'm just gonna turn it by the head. Way over tightened them last time, and that's why I broke the bolt. I just wanted to make sure it was sealed. Alright, fuel block is in. We are all set for pulling a bunch of fuel out in that inline Magna Fuel 750. Alright, so as you guys know, we are running these Texas Speed and Performance headers on Leroy, and we're also doing Heat Shield Products lava wrap on the headers. And if you didn't see an unboxing video, we are doing a Heat Shield Products giveaway. So if you go and follow Heat Shield Products on Instagram, you're automatically entered into the giveaway. On the day we fire up Leroy, I'll be giving away this as well as our other giveaway, which is here. Hey guys, don't forget I'm taking all of the names off of my website for anyone who's bought a shirt or anything off there this year, and combining them into a list and giving away my engine covers. I'm going to sign them. I've got 2 of these as well as a Corvette intake. So go grab a shirt if you already have it this year, and you might win one of these. And we're gonna give them away after we fire up Leroy with the new heads cam and LSA setup. So definitely go follow them, as well as get hooked up with the shirt deal. Enter yourself into both of these giveaways, and you can either get the engine cover or 100 feet of Heat Shield Products lava wrap. Now this is gonna be my first time wrapping headers. I'm no expert, but I got some advice from Laz. This is more of a time-consuming thing, so his time is better spent doing much more important things. I'll wrap the headers, and hopefully they look good. So here is the final result. Looking pretty good, not bad for my first time. These ends are they're pretty tight. I didn't like the clamps on this end, so I worked it like that way. Hopefully these don't come off. I mean, they're really pretty tight. We haven't even wetted this yet. It'll tighten down a little bit, I guess. But otherwise, I wrapped all 4 individually, or 3 of them individually. And then on the 4th one, once I got to here, went all the way around and down here. I mean, it looks pretty good. Put a wire wrap on the end and just hold it there, and I mean, I don't think that's budging any. So that is the Heat Shield Products lava wrap, looking good. And unfortunately, now I have to do another one. Woo. So that's gonna do it for episode 3 of Supercharging Leroy. We ran the fuel system, put in the fuel block. Laz did a bunch of stuff on Friday, which is included in this video, and we ran the fuel lines, did the expansion tank. So we are kind of getting there. I mean, the next episode, he's probably gonna be fired up. Grab the headers, a couple other things, but that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching. Do it for Dale, and we will see you on the next Supercharging Leroy episode.